I'm State Representative Marty Causer, and I'm here at the 104th Pennsylvania Farm Show with Secretary of Agriculture Russell Redding. Mr. Secretary, thanks for being here
Chairman,
with me.
good to see you. Always nice to see you. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
We're about halfway through the farm show as we're here now, and can you talk about some of the highlights of this year's farm show?
Well, we're excited to host this. You know the worry that goes into the show. You hear us talk about it all year long, right? Mm-hmm. But to finally get to a point where you've got it in motion and you see the show rings are functioning, your judges are here, you've got your volunteers, everything's going well, it's a good feeling. We've added a couple of things this year new. We've got a waterfowl exhibit that, as you recall, last year we took the duck slide away and everybody sort of complained about where the ducks go. So we brought them back but put them in a natural habitat. There's a nice quilt heritage trail that the Grange did, which I really like. It's a little sort of added feature. We have hemp here in different forms this year in sort of an expanded way. Take a look at some of the products. It's in the food court, but also what you can see. The culinary connection to talk about PA Preferred. We've expanded the craft beers and the hard ciders and some of those things that we've developed over the last couple of years that are good opportunities for us. So, and then you have the traditional stuff, right? A lot of good, solid agriculture, animal agriculture here at the Farm Show. But good things.
So as chair of the House Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, I get a chance to work closely with you.
Yeah.
And over the past several years, we've accomplished a great deal, I believe. Last year was a very busy year for right. Pennsylvania agriculture. Maybe you could talk about some of the highlights and some of the issues that I would consider successes that we've worked together on.
Well, you're very humble about that, right? I think we can be proud of the Farm Bill and the initiatives. The Farm Bill is a compilation of a lot of different components, but it was several years in the making, right? It was the economic impact and really trying to be very strategic about where do we invest, and that could be on the youth side for education and conservation and making sure that animal agriculture is protected. So I give you a lot of credit for helping to navigate all the legislative work. I mean, there's 16 different pieces of legislation that we conveniently term the Farm Bill, but a lot of work inside of that. But very proud of it. I think all of us would say, we start doing things like that, it sends a very clear signal to the agricultural community about what we value. And we know that's diverse. You've got in your district there, the hardwoods industry, but you have some other opportunities around tourism and such. So we want to make sure that we capture all of that as part of the Farm Bill, and we did. I'm proud of it. I would say on the workforce side is another area that there's elements of that inside the Farm Bill for youth, and particularly ag and youth, the Ag Youth Grant Program. But just the conversations around workforce that we've had help to elevate when you do it in the committee and we do it in administration, to start sort of focusing in on where the workforce system in Pennsylvania needs to be sort of tweaked to make sure it works for us. Right. And I would add to that the Commission on Agriculture Education Excellence is an opportunity to bring education ag together to focus on the priority occupations of agriculture has been a highlight. Several years in the making, but finally getting some work done here in the last year.
Well, agriculture, as we know, is our number one industry. Yeah. It's very diverse across Pennsylvania, as we know. But the one thing about it is we can work in a bipartisan way, both House and Senate, Republicans, right. Democrats. We work together in support of agriculture across the state, and I think that's why we've been able to make so much progress, because we do work in a bipartisan way to move forward legislation. As you said, the Farm Bill package was 16 bills sponsored by Republicans and Democrats that all deal with one part or several parts of our agriculture industry. And at the end of the day, all those pieces of legislation will come together in support of Pennsylvania agriculture.
Absolutely.
One that I sponsored was the Pennsylvania Rapid Response Disaster Readiness Account, which allows us to respond quickly to animal health emergencies and plant situations that we might encounter. We're right now dealing with the spotted lanternfly issue in Pennsylvania. So maybe talk about that issue and where we stand with the creation of that account and tackling invasive species.
Yeah, I'd like to. And I want to just second your point about the bipartisan nature of the work that we do, and I think we're very lucky when I look at all of the activity in the legislature between the House and the Senate and the administration, and know that the agriculture work is a great unifier, right? I mean, people like what we do. They appreciate the farmland and the issue stuff that we deal with. It's really reassuring and reaffirming that the things that we do are also important to a lot of different other people as well. On the disaster readiness account, born out of necessity, it was right. It was out of the concern of I think we first got a chance to work together when I came back to the departments around the high path avian influenza and what was happening in the poultry industry. We've had the scare of African swine fever, then the spotted lanternfly shows up. All of that is what was in back of the need to create some account that allows us to respond fairly quickly. And then there's others, right? And you've had a few in your region as well. But that account has been critical. We've put money into spotted lanternfly. We've put funding into the chronic wasting disease as another element of concern. And then other contemporary issues from animal to plant invasives. But critical that we have it because we can respond, because these things don't conveniently show up with budget cycles, right? We had that experience. So I appreciate your leadership on that point, and because it cuts across east to west an issue here in Pennsylvania.
It's about being prepared and having the resources to respond when an issue comes up, and I think that's critical. Absolutely.
It's critical. I mean, that's the expectation you have of us. I like to do a lot of different things, but it's about public health and safety, right? And protecting animal agriculture, and that account, disaster preparedness and readiness account, gives us that flexibility to do just that. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, we've made great progress.
We have.
Over the last several years, and I know going forward we'll continue to have successes and continue working together, and I certainly look forward to working with you.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. I really appreciate your passion for what you do, your public service, but also the leadership and stewardship of agriculture. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.